Hey guys, welcome back to FSM Trading. Top 3 stocks to be looking at in the month of December 2020. I'm going to be looking at different scenarios or different industries, but I want to give you guys which 3 stocks I feel are going to have the biggest growth this particular month. So let's take a look. Let's get straight into the video. First one, I want to describe what's happening. The first one I'm going to pick is actually Pfizer. And the reason for this is not only because of the recent news we can see here, the COVID vaccine that took its first milestone and the vaccine that offers 90% protection. The reason is I'm looking at the pharmaceutical industry as a whole is because what we've got to start to decipher in the stock market is that many of the stay-at-home stocks that were thriving before, your Netflix, your Zooms, everything that was doing very well and making a lot of people a lot of money, I think are going to start, as we have seen, start taking a slight dip or start to steady. The reason for that is because perceptions are starting to change. People are starting to understand that we're going to come out of lockdown, not just in London and the UK, but around the world. They're looking around the corner to know that actually life is going to begin to go back to normal. So therefore, we should actually start looking at some stocks that weren't doing so well during the lockdown period or the COVID period might start to actually increase now and start to be a bit better. Pharmaceutical industry is one. That's why Pfizer would be my top pick. We can also see things such as Moderna as well, which also had a 94.5% effective rate in terms of the vaccine that they produced as well, as we can see on this particular chart as well. So actually edged over Pfizer. So you could pick either one, but today we're going to obviously discuss Pfizer, and we can take a look at some of the data on that as well. It's currently trading at around $36, 52-week low of $26, 52-week high of $39. It's also got a huge market cap of around 206 billion. Its PE ratio is also very huge at 24.11 and an earnings per share of $1.54. As I said, take your pick between Pfizer and Moderna. I'm actually looking at the pharmaceutical industry as a whole, but also taking a look at some stats to support that as well. We can also see its PE ratio is around 23.7, but its price to book ratio 3.43. Price to cash flow ratio 17.66, and its return on equity 25.71%. I do think this is a great stock to buy. Pfizer, Moderna, the pharmaceutical industry as a whole, Johnson & Johnson you could also be looking at. There's many different picks I think that you could be seeing, but also here we can take a look at the chart, and this shows you that recently, or we can speak, let's go back to last year, December 2019, we can see price was around $36. It has dropped significantly since then. We could see it drop all the way as soon as COVID starts. It takes a huge hit and it's dropped all the way to around, you can see about $26. I mean, it's tried to come back up, taken more dips, higher highs all the time. And now it's hitting around, it's starting to rise quite significantly, but it's looking around $37. So just above where it started last year. But I do think this is the perfect time to be getting in on these particular stocks, pharmaceuticals as a whole. They have been, fairly bad, obviously, as you can see over the last year or so because of the impacts of COVID. But due to the recent news of vaccines, etc., I think those will start to be rolled out next year. It does take around 6 to 12 months before it gets rolled out, mass scale. I think we can start to see this as people begin to heal from the disease or the sickness or the virus, we should say. I think we can see this particular industry market as a whole and particular stocks, Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, rise in tune with that. I think this particular stock at least should be hitting $50 to going towards $100 depending on how things go as of next year. My number 2, we're going to look at Alibaba. I did do some recent news on this as well. I did speak about this in one of my recent videos about Alibaba as a whole, but I want to just briefly go over why I think $178, 52-week low of around $169, 52-week high of around $319, earnings per share at $6.90 and PE ratio of $40. I'm going to skip straight to a few stats on Alibaba as well. I mean, we know that this cloud computing business that they're working on is scheduled to be, start making profit in the next 3 to 6 months, as I discussed in my last video. We also know that it doesn't just own Alibaba. I mean, there's AliExpress, Tmall, Taobao. There's a lot of things and marketplaces that Alibaba is capitalizing on, and that's why I think that it's a key stock to be buying. We can also see here on the chart, if we take away the moving average, we can see a huge amount of growth in the market. I mean, from $200 here, we can see it rise all the way from last year to this year, around $276. But I do think that this stock could skyrocket next year, at least going towards the $500 mark. So definitely some interest there. That would be my number 2. So we've had Pfizer, we've had Alibaba. My last pick might surprise some of you, but I'm actually going to go with Etsy. Now, we can see recently, Etsy, if you didn't know, it's like handcrafted things that people make, homecraft things that they make. It's a very, very niche market. I mean, Amazon have tried to do the same thing with handcrafted products, but they haven't been able to capitalize as much as Etsy have been. They literally just had their stock jump around 10.7% on Black Friday just the other day. And over the course of the year, and obviously the course of COVID, they sold around 346 million masks, which is also in Q2, which is the reason for a steady rise in the market. So we can take a look at some of the stats again, and we can see they're currently trading around $148, 52-week low of nearly $30, 52-week high of $160. So it's very close at the moment to its 52-week high. Market cap 20.24 billion, absolutely huge. P ratio huge at 89.1, and earnings per share at $1.80. Some people might say it's overpriced, but we can look at other, data. If we look here at its price to book ratio, we can see it 12.89, and also its return on equity at 23.75%. I do think that it's a very good stock to be getting in on, and one that I would be confident is going to rise over not only December but into next year as well. Let's take a look at the chart here. Etsy doing amazing things. I mean, just last year, December 2019, we were looking at around $43, and as of this year, we're looking at the price at the moment, it's around $160. It's almost tripled in value. I do think that this stock is going to only go up in the month of December, and further than that into the new year. I think this stock could easily top $200, going towards $300 as of next year. So a lot of different stocks there to look at. You've got your handcrafted products, you're looking at Etsy, you're also looking at your Pfizer's, your manufacturing departments, or your pharmaceutical departments, and also looking at Alibaba, which is also selling online, e-commerce, online marketplace, which I do think as that particular stock will still grow as of next year. So a lot of different things to think about, but those will be my top 3 for the month of December. If there's any comments you want to leave, please do comment below. I'll be happy to see how I can help. Please do your own research as well. Don't just take my word for it. But if you could all please like, share and subscribe. Click the notification bell if you like the videos that you're getting at the moment, like the quality of the videos. I will be posting more content. Thank you very much.